All right, good morning. How is everybody today? Making sure audio is good on my end, and I think we are all set. So, as always, let's go ahead and dive right in. It is September 14th, 2021. My name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets, and let's just review quickly some of the activity from yesterday. Notable continuation in some of the selling pressure across the broader markets. Shifting straight into the Dow, we're seeing some relative strength in this particular index, as we can see that the Dow was a bit range bound on yesterday's session. It's also notable that the Dow is holding this relative trend line, possibly providing another bounce opportunity and ultimately looking to break this downtrend resistance if you're looking bullish. Otherwise, this range compression continues. But across the other markets that we track, notable continuation to the downside in the morning sessions. We also want to note that the volume and overall volatility has still been increasing day in and day out. When looking at this volume, it can often be beneficial to review shorter time frames to make sure that you're analyzing the volume and the appreciation or depreciation of price based on where the volume occurred throughout the session. So sometimes when looking at the daily, that information is not available. But if we shift into something like a 1 hour, and ultimately, since we are trading intraday, we can see this. We note that a lot of the early morning volume was, of course, to the downside. Then we had our sharp sort of rally from the closing session or the power hour session in the afternoon. You may also want to contrast this with things like futures against the index, something like /ES for the S&P 500. It's worthy to note that the daily volume was also elevated, but as we closed relatively indecisive, and given that we had a higher close than open on the session, the volume does appear to be relatively climactic. However, intraday, it's notable that a lot of the overall volume was to the downside, with a lot of it occurring in the first 30-minute session or the morning range of ES/ES. And as we shift into other indexes, we can see that this is also the case. The NASDAQ did have some follow through from a previous daily close. We saw additional downside in stocks like Apple and Microsoft on the intraday session. And ultimately, a lot of the recovery bounce occurred during power hour, notable with the volume as well, as there was a bit of follow through on that bounce. And as always, we look at our IWM to see if there's any change. Notable possible bounce occurring near near VPOC. Without reiterating the point, VPOC, of course, being our main volume point of control in this trading range. So there were, across the broader market, some areas of interest. We have a few new thematic items that people are actively trading, along with some things that stood out on yesterday's session, given that we had morning weakness. Anything that was either weaker than the overall market shows a bit of relative weakness in that stock or sector. And then anything that was strong in the morning session can show relative strength. Obviously, if the market is to bounce, we would expect certain stocks to maybe outperform, and we're currently looking for clues as to what those stocks might might be. Now, one area that a lot of people look at is semiconductors against the larger economic theme of whether we are headed into hyperinflation, whether we're headed into stagflation, or if you're in more of the deflationary camp. It's notable that certain technology chips and the overall semiconductor industry is often viewed as a deflationary asset class. Now, with the short-term activity, if I pull up something like SMH, a blend of a lot of different companies that have exposure to semiconductors, you'll have refiners and producers, people who make GPUs and CPUs, some companies more specific in the types of chips that they produce. Doesn't look too exciting overall. A bit of a, I would say, sort of a indecision type day with the same open and close. But as we look across some of our notable names, some stocks are standing out both to the downside and to the upside. Stocks like AMD, which we know had a very strong rally off of its earnings report, that stock has been having some difficulty finding a new base low. But as we come into previous swing lows, certainly on watch, as the market was recovering in the 8 hour session, but AMD started to rally much earlier. Stocks like NVIDIA, which a lot of people are still reviewing as to whether or not the overall, I would say, multiples in this company and the overall fundamental justification of this price is relevant to continued upside. But stocks like NVIDIA are trending. We're seeing lots of pullbacks getting bought in this stock, regardless of the strength of the previous rally. And overall, this stock has that short-term look of possibly finding some additional support if the market is to rally. Now, these stocks have been in play for a while, and these stocks are high growth and ultimately have more specific use cases, often leaning more towards the GPU space. But on yesterday's session, what I found more interesting is some of the non-high growth stocks, almost the laggards in the space, seeing some bullish activity. So on a weak overall market session, we had stocks like Intel, which if we zoom in, we can see actually rallied in the morning weakness and ultimately closed relatively bullish overall. What's interesting about this is this actually occurred on Friday as well. If you recall, Friday was another bearish session for the S&P, and yet Intel had some very strong bullish momentum in the morning session on Friday. Stocks like Texas Instrument, same basic case here. The idea is that these stocks are showing relative strength against a bearish short-term market, a pullback in the overall S&P, and yet these stocks continue to climb. So as we move into notable technical areas for these stocks, something like TXN has a very clear area of resistance where previous swing highs have failed to expand the range. These are stocks to maybe keep on watch, as it seems short term that there may be more selling pressure in our higher growth multiple names, and maybe some interest in whether it be more CPU focused or just hardware peripheral focused chip makers. So that was of interest on yesterday's session. Secondary, this is something we've already discussed, but natural gas continues to climb. Notable that so far we have not seen any weakness at a previous weekly and or monthly swing high. It's notable that we're also breaking out of the $5 psychological within the nat gas futures contracts. And as we just look back in time, our next area of interest will likely be something like the 650s. Now, obviously this momentum can move very quickly through these spaces in the price, as there's not a lot of overhead supply to provide resistance. But context is important, and it's important to note that as we are trending on something like the 4-hour, each of these pullbacks is getting bought closer to something like the 20. So while the daily is overall extended, depending on how you're trading this, through ETFs, through stocks that are exposed to natural gas, or ultimately through the futures themselves, you want to look and see where is this momentum getting bought and where can you define your risk as a trader. Oftentimes, when the larger time frames are extended, there is still a shorter time frame area for you to either consider an entry and ultimately to manage risk if things change. So natural gas, overall good looking chart, very strong, and a bit of a economic, I would say, catalyst in regards to the seasonality of natural gas and the fact that we are still in a relatively, I would say, indecisive state of the market with regards to inflation. And finally, the new, I would say, kid on the block, although this has had a bullish case for a while, we're actually seeing a response in the charts, is something like uranium. Now, same basic idea here. The underlying conditions of the economy and the focus on different aspects of clean energy, uranium has had sort of a underpinning of a bull case for a long period of time. However, the performance has not reflected that ultimate bull case. Maybe it'd be a bit medium to long term for this particular energy source. Now, obviously, now that things are performing, there's a lot of eyes on, and obviously a lot of volatility. Us as traders love to see this because we need things to move in order for us to take advantage of price fluctuations. We also have a lot of bullish confirming volume as we start to break out in something like an ETF that is exposed to uranium, URA being the choice for today. A lot of traders are also looking at particular stocks. CCJ is an example of that. And then I'm having trouble loading the uranium futures on this particular platform, but there is a uranium ticker for futures, and that I can provide if needed, but I was having trouble loading it, so I won't try and bring that up at the moment. So quite a few areas that are relatively strong in a marketplace that currently is going through a bit of a downside correction. What overall has been weak? What has traded with the market and ultimately has provided some of the downside momentum? Stocks like Apple. Now, Apple did have a catalyst on Friday leading to the large overall sell-off that did occur. And so far, we are simply holding these lows over the past Monday session. However, given Apple's notable market cap in regards to the technology sector, along with the overall ETF exposure that a stock like Apple has for all S&P 500 weighted ETFs or anything that has exposure to Apple in that way, it's worthwhile to review Apple and see what are some downside potentials that Apple has shown from a technical perspective. So let's just look at something like a weekly. If Apple does continue to sell, what is some of the downside potential we've seen when the market gets a bit overheated in this stock? Well, one thing we can do is just start to draw relative trend lines. And while the selling that occurred here is notable on the daily, it is not necessarily surprising to see it occur at a resistance level. We have two buying climax highs, and ultimately Apple tagged this area very specifically and saw selling pressure. We can also do the same thing with our downside. We can just draw from a previous swing low. I like this one back in time because it was a wide overall range and a big buying climax that led to volatility. We swing our line out and we see that the reactions are occurring somewhere in this zone. So while Apple still looks great from the perspective of the daily chart, we know that this market has been detached from notable demand zones on a trending stock, something like the weekly 20, or even if we pull it out to the monthly, we know that this elevated state is forming that that sort of structure of a rising wedge. And with these wedges, we simply want to trade them as we do any other channel based confirmation or technical structure. You often want to sell the highs, you often want to buy the lows, and if we get breakouts from these wedges, we need to understand that what does that breakout confirm in regards to horizontal support and resistance, and ultimately how wide is the overall range of the wedge, which can lead to downside or even upside targets depending on how it breaks. So it can be deceptive to look at a daily and say that Apple pulled back to something like the 20 or the 50 and simply look at that as another buying opportunity. It is worthwhile to at least consider the idea that as markets move away from these areas of demand, the downside is not necessarily captured well on the daily chart. Now, ultimately, we've been in some interesting conditions this past year with regards to interest rates and bond volatility. I would say that if Apple is to have that significant of a downside, there would need to be some additional catalyst in regards to interest rates rising sharply, like we saw back in, let's see, March and April, I believe. And then obviously the bonds selling off quite hard, that inverse correlation that occurs between yields and bonds. So just keeping those concepts in mind, because there is actual historical rationale as to why a stock like Apple could pull down that deep or that far. It could have something as simple as a 19 to 20% correction, and we could still exist in a relatively bullish market. The thing that we need to see for that to happen is something else taking the lead. This period here, this downside volatility in Apple, was led by a financial and healthcare trend. So the market necessarily didn't pull back as hard as something like the Nasdaq. And when I say the market, I mean the S&P. Same idea applies to Microsoft. The structure here is a bit different. The trend is a bit stronger overall, and ultimately the posture on the weekly is still strong, but it's worthwhile to always consider where we are, and if things start to fail, what is our downside? Microsoft has already proven a breakout and a retest of a previous resistance zone. It is elevated in its structure on the trend, but a pullback to the 20 is not out of the question. This is something that Microsoft has done and should be prepared for if you are exposed to these stocks. So keep all that in mind as we are seeing a bit of selling pressure. Market has not pulled back that sharply. We're only down about 2.5% overall on the S&P 500. So in context, this downside is, this tool is always annoying. Pull it in here. It's 2.5% roughly from low to high. So the downside in the overall market is not drastic yet, but the exposure of these stocks, the fact that if I go to a fundamentals tab, look at the S&P and just see that Apple and Microsoft represents approximately 11 to 12% of the overall SPY. These two stocks control a lot. They're larger than things like utilities, materials, and real estate combined. They're larger than some individual sectors combined, like industrials and consumer staples. So the fact that these two stocks can move the market is what we need to often compare with our analysis. If they're taking down or moving down, especially quickly or drastically, the concept remains, what is taking the lead in their place? Healthcare so far has not found that bottom. 50 moving average notable here. This pullback may be bought, but we need to see some confirmation. Financials haven't taken the lead yet. They're a bit overall range bound. So where is the market strength? And if we are to believe a bounce in the SPY, we need to see at least one sector showing that strength. We need to see candidate stocks that hold market cap exposure, stocks like Facebook or Google in the communication sector. All of these are pulling back, but we haven't yet gotten great confirmation as to a bounce yet. So if this trend is to continue, these are things that we need to see over the next couple of days. If not, then the market can either remain a bit indecisive between, high and the low of yesterday, or we could see bear continuation, and obviously the volume will be the guide on that continuation. So as we get close to the tail end, I don't really have too much else to discuss, but just keeping our normal fear indicators on watch. Dollar's flat, not too much going on. Bonds are flat, and with interest rates, we're getting more and more range compression. Something like the T, tool, struggling here. The TNX, bit of a flat top. So looking at this to see if we get a big breakout. That can also be seen with the TLT. Lots of just indecisive movement, bit of a false breakdown so far, but that 150 level is definitely on watch for TLT. Skew continues to come off. This is showing the downside hedging activity is starting to contract slightly. And while these levels are still highly elevated, this is a very lagging overall indicator for market weakness. So these elevated levels didn't really see a lot of volatility. We just want to see if there's a major tick higher or lower in the next couple of days. And then our VIX, if I can find it, that's the VVIX. This is the VIX. VIX actually is a bit elevated overall. We've seen the market actually hold near the 20 print on the VIX. And as we mentioned yesterday, elevated VIX into a Friday roll and expiration is odd for the market. It's a rare occurrence. But I would say we have context here with our long term on the VIX, the downside resistance or the sloping resistance, the sort of rising support. We're going to see if this VIX wants to maybe stay range bound or if we get a sharper impulsive move in either direction. Short term, though, there is a bit of elevation here. We want to kind of respect that on the bear side. And obviously, we know what some downside targets are for the market. We know that 50 has been important. We also have an SPX expected move, which I've drawn from yesterday. This expected move has expanded quite a bit from last week. Shorter session. So last week deserved a smaller expected move, but we do have about $115 expected move And the way this conceptually works is that markets often like to check these risk levels regardless of how expansive they are. So we have that upside target pretty much a couple of ticks higher from all-time highs, but our downside is significantly lower if the expected move is to make it there this week. So we'll keep all that on watch and just kind of use each day as a new piece of information. Um, Obviously, some bullishness in certain areas. These are maybe unfamiliar asset classes or even stocks that we don't often trade, the likes of some of those semiconductor names. But that's where the money is flowing at the moment. And if you're a majority bull trader, you're looking for those breakouts and the momentum to kind of carry your trade in the appropriate direction. If you're still thinking more bearish, obviously market has a lot to prove in the longer term trend, but we're seeing intraday sessions where instead of buying certain dips, we're seeing a lot of sells on the rips. The bear volume is convincing at this time, and until we get to that notable demand zone of the 50, or at the very least, if we get maybe a capitulation event with a large gap down or just an overall overextension of the downside, that can provide the trading opportunity back long. Obviously, not necessarily looking at all-time highs, but something as simple as obviously these range lows, which we've broken down from, as simple as, along with using something like a previous swing high, seeing if that's going to act as an area of support. So far, we've had 2 closures below this, so the answer is no at this time. So, all right, y'all, that's pretty much it. So I'll go ahead and call it here. My name is Jared, engineering the markets, and hopefully y'all trade safe these past couple of sessions. We did have some notable PPI numbers come out. I won't go into detail on those. There were a lot of interesting metrics that were shown month over month. Lots of increase in price in certain produce items, certain meats. There's a notable decline month over month in things like building materials. So if you're interested in any of that, or if you want the nuance of those metrics, I recommend going to bls.gov. That's Bravo Lima Sierra.gov, and then look for PPI in August. That'll be the most latest report. You can pull up the aggregate information, or you can actually see a PDF that breaks down each individual item. That's interesting information if you are a consumer and you're maybe looking to buy or sell certain things when they're more on sale. Some of these inflationary numbers will actually give you that information month over month. So, all right, y'all. Y'all take it easy, trade safe, and we'll talk more tomorrow.
All right. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, buddy. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing real good. All right, guys. Let's get right into it. Let's look at some of the stuff we had yesterday on deck. I only had a couple of stocks on here. The watch list wasn't great yesterday, and I saw that throughout the day. I'm not sure if you guys had a hard time, but it was not the easiest trading day.
That's an understatement, my man.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to be as positive as we can be, but man, it was yeah, it was brutal. Here's a AMC. Let's take a look at this one. This thing had potential, man. It had the volume, it had the pre-market action, and it's just crapped out at the market open. It just did not trade very well. Look at this insane drop here. So no continuation. We all were looking for a better continuation on this one. We did not get that yesterday. If you flip your position and took this as a short, which is difficult to do until you actually see it, it's too late for that because you're going to get the pullback and hopefully it comes back up, but it didn't. It was just terrible. It was really, really terrible yesterday. We definitely seen better out of them. Here was Apple. Apple was another one that we had on deck that also had a great pre-market action, guys. They had great volume yesterday as well. And again, it's just a little bit of a rough start. It did get better down the line. I mean, it couldn't stay above the VWAP, so it was rather weak for the day. And then towards the end of the day, the afternoon part of it, you can see how this thing dropped nicely back towards the lows of the day. But throughout the mid morning and the morning session, not a whole lot going on there. Here's Nvidia, guys. This was and I missed this. I was not looking at that one. But this is one that again we talk about it having not a great pre-market action, right? We see that here. We still had it on our list because this stock has been trading pretty nice. Did try to get going, could not. Look at this beautiful rejection here. If you didn't believe the short here by here, you're definitely believing it. And you can see here how great this continuation was. I'll tell you this, I missed this one completely, but this was probably one of the better trading stocks we had on our list yesterday. Here's a OCGN, another one that started off a little bit rough later, about half hour into the market open, about an hour or so. This thing does take off nicely here, hit some of the highs of the pre-market, which we love seeing that there, but it barely gave you a pullback and opportunity to get in this one. You had to be in really quick, realize, hey, the move is happening now. There was no big pullback, at least on the 5 minute there wasn't. Violet comes in very aggressively. You can see how this thing just takes off here. After that, this was the only move really. After that, it just really doesn't do anything else. I mean, it's hard to take a long here when this thing has ran up quite a bit already. It's exhausted. You can see the candles are not making new highs. That's also something that's concerning when you're trying to catch a move after such a big run. So not easy to trade unless you caught that initial move. Baba also was not nice, guys. It did kind of give you a double bottom here. We've seen cleaner double bottoms, but it did find some support here. It did take off above the VWAP. But again, we've definitely seen better days. So that was action yesterday, guys. Let's take a look at what we have on our list this morning. A lot of stuff in the red, a few in the green, which I see some Bitcoin stuff here, BTBT. This one, KPLT we see in the past, and AXSM we've seen in the past also. Again, I don't think none of these trade all that well. And then our gapping down list, we have a few on here. A couple of names that we've recently been watching, like LCID. I know that's been active over the last couple of weeks. So we'll see. We'll see what we can gather today. Let's go over to the market pulse and what do we have going on? I saw a SPY popping just a minute ago before we got on.
Yeah,
Um,
we had the big economic data of the week just drop when we were coming on at 8:30 Eastern. That was the consumer price index and core CPI as well. Both inflation numbers that people have been worried about, and they came out lighter, not as hot as expected. So good news, because if inflation continues to run as hot as it's been and as hot as some people have anticipated, then the Fed might be forced to uh, stop their easy financial, their easy fiscal policy as or as easy as it is, and change up a little bit earlier than expected. So um, that is what has popped things. We will see how that continues. That is actually some really good news because you know it's starting to get attention when you can turn on your local news and they're talking about the price of goods increasing, at the grocery store, a gallon of milk and all that stuff, not just the financial people. So a little bit of good news there. And I think that's part of the reason we kind of had a ho-hum day yesterday. People have been waiting on that number to come out. Somebody, and I'll bring this up because this is an interesting take, and it's very true. It always happens. Customer support handle over on YouTube mentioned that when we said it was kind of a crap day yesterday. That's funny. I thought the open was very easy. You know, that the one thing we say where there's definitely luck involved in trading is picking the right stock, because everything can look great and what you choose to look at does nothing. Or you can pick something that, like, somebody might think there is zero reason to watch that. And you happen to get lucky that a fund manager that morning, undisclosed to anybody anywhere, decided that, you know, the night before that he was going to take some massive position and drive a price and volume and everything else. So it can happen. And if you happen to be watching the right thing, sometimes that happens. So anyway.
Yep, agree 100% there, Norm. Thank you for that. All right, guys, let's get to it. Here is our main screen. Let's talk about trade ideas linking to the montage. I forgot to do it this morning, but I know someone asked me in the chat room, and for those that do have trade ideas and want to link it to their DAS montage, this is how you do it. So you have your main screen here. You're going to go over to where it says tools. There's going to be an external linking right on here, and I'll make a YouTube video of this so we have it, so we can just refer to the video. This is going to pop up. When this populates, you hit add link, and all you have to do is just take your mouse over to where you want this ticker to populate when you click on the gappers list, right? So in my case, I want it here in this montage. I'm just going to put my cursor over here. Once you see that cursor come in, right, where you can highlight things, you're just going to put it over there. You're just going to tap on shift and hold on a second. Let's do that again. Add link. Put it over there. Tap on shift, and then it's going to populate this here. Hit OK, and you're all set. Now, when you go over and click on anything, oops, I minimized everything on trade ideas. Let's bring that back, and we'll bring this back. Once you click on trade ideas, then it will populate the ticker over on your montage. So pretty cool stuff. You have to do it every time. Unfortunately, it does not save, but as many tickers as we're going through, is worth taking the time to do that. All right, let's remove our list from yesterday. Control A, Control X here. We'll get rid of this stuff, and let's see what we can find today, starting with AXSM. I've seen this ticker plenty of times here, guys. It's not a new one. It gapped down huge a couple of weeks back. This morning, I'm not seeing anything great, guys. Horrible pre-market action, extremely light on the volume. This is not in play. Moving on down, BT. I don't see any other Bitcoin stock pumping up here, and this one doesn't look great anyways. Up 3.4
on that one. Yeah. So that just popped up onto our gappers list. It is up a little bit this morning, but I'll tell you, the vast majority of the volumes in that 8 o'clock candle, so those could have been some prints maybe from yesterday or something. Who knows? I didn't see them cross through, but other than that, it's got to get better continuous volume really to be something to consider in my mind.
Yeah, I agree 100%, guys. So again, not much going on there. We'll have to skip on that one for now. Here is HUT. HUT, and at the moment they are up 3.9, 109,000. Again, just very light. I don't think this stuff is in play, guys. Very light volume. It is up 4% almost here, and again, it's just I don't see anything great out of this one, so we'll skip here. KPLT this morning, they are up 3.6, 406,000 shares traded. This thing was very active. 2 weeks back here, we saw a couple of breakouts with significant volume. You can see that here and here, right? This morning, 406. I mean, it has higher than usual volume that we want to see on a pre-market stock. Where's our? Well, we lost our thing here. Let's bring that back. There we go.
Need you to pull up life while you're at it. I'm going to cut in the middle of this, and there you go.
Here we go.
Serious action. They had news that just came out a minute ago.
Nice. What's the float on this? 13
million. Yeah, 14 million.
Low flow stock, guys.
Low float, but just wanted to alert that there's something that just started.
This is brewing for sure, and looking real good, guys. This is what we want to see, right? You want to see that volume come in. 7.7 million shares traded, and we're actually moving, right? 10 minutes ago, this probably would have been garbage, right? There's nothing happening here. Now we've actually got the volume heading into one direction. This is what you want to see on a low flow stock. So life in play, guys.
10 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago it was okay. 11 minutes ago, yes, it was garbage.
Right, exactly. Right. I agree 100%. 10 minutes okay, 11 minutes no good. Cutoff line. So yeah, looking good, guys, right now. Breaking some highs here in the pre-market with, again, tons of volume, up 30%. People are watching this one, so have that one, have an eye for that one. We left off with, okay, I see Mara. I see some of the other Bitcoin stuff starting to pop up here. So maybe something's happening. I'm going to add Mara because I do like that one. I don't like BTBT as much. I like Mara when it is in play. We'll add that one. It's not really in play right now, but you can see they're starting to kind of move higher here, be above that 3.5-3%. So let's see if they can get the volume as we mentioned earlier. Riot, see now Riot's coming into, so something's up. Bitcoin must be doing something here. JMIA, if you guys remember this thing was wild, man. This is the one that went up to like 80. Yeah. This thing was just insane. Every day was just a massive gain here. We haven't seen it do much in the last couple of weeks, so I'm not sure what's going on now. Pre-market action doesn't have great volume. You are getting a little bit of a pop here. We need more time on this one, so we'll come back to it. Gapping down. Let's jump in here. MLCO. Down 7.2. I do not like the pre-market action, although we do have 304,000. I think it needs to look a little bit better, and the daily is not great. Very light on volume, guys. 5 million shares is right there. You can see we're barely crossing that on a couple of days there, so not great at the moment. Wind here, this one is
JMIA just came out a couple of minutes ago that the CEO bought some shares. So
okay, nice. He sold at 70 and is buying back in. So that was happening.
That's probably
great man. Great man there. Yes, let's come up with some new inventions, get up to 70 again, sell, and do what we have to do. You know what, let's add as a possible, because we'll see if that's going to drive anything here. Sometimes that does create a good movement on the stock. I mean, they're up 3.9, 115. We need more volume out of them, but they just popped up, so let's give them a little bit of time. MLCO, guys, no good right now. LV, we're looking at Wind, I believe, right? Wind is actually very active. Wind.
It is.
Yeah, it's actually very active here. We got a down 7.3, 370. Any news? Because they normally don't move unless they have some kind of catalyst.
I didn't see anything specific, and I've looked at a few of these because we've got Win, we've got LVS. They're the CEO of some major resort thing was talking about the issue with getting workers back. You know, obviously, just people have left the hospitality business after what transpired in the last year. They weren't super high paying jobs to begin with, and you know, they were shut down for a good period of time. I think they freaked them out and they left, and people are slow to go back to it. Can't blame them. So
right. And if you're in that situation,
that's
what I was gonna say. You find something else to do, and you're not gonna leave something that you have now if it's better, right? So yeah, LVS, Wind all in play here, guys, are definitely active. I'm gonna put let me see which one's this one looks good. I like this one. We'll put this one as a main one right now. Again, it doesn't trade very well, but with that type of catalyst, we might see something out of this today, so we'll put that on here. ATER, this was hot yesterday, right? And had a nice little pop-up. It's got had some good volume in the pre-market action, and it definitely took off. I did not trade it, but I know this thing was on fire, guys. If you had a good trade on this one, congrats. You made out very, very well, because it did give you a beautiful continuation here. This morning, they're down 6% right now, 2.9 million shares traded. The second day after such a big run like this, or the day after, you know, it's pretty tricky to trade. I believe the volume is great, though, for a follow-up day. Maybe if they can get into the green area, could be nice for a secondary move today above this previous day close line. But we will definitely want to see it above that. So I'm going to add it on here next to Life, which continues to just crush it here, guys. Going for 12 right now. High of the pre-market, 11.95. Again, up 30% now. All right, heading down back to our gapping down list. REE, not looking good, guys. I don't like this drop. I don't like the pre-market. Horrible daily as well. And we say horrible, guys, just the volume is really crappy here. So nothing really good happening here. Here we go. Nathan, thank you so much for the super chat. And he is saying, if Thor is available sometime, we'll love to ask him some questions about Camarilla pivots. Absolutely,
Shoot him an email.
Yeah. Shoot him an email.
Thor at Bearable Traders.
Bearable Traders, and he'll get back to you. We'd love to do that. Yeah, Thor can talk about Camarilla points all day long. all day long. The guy loves his stuff, man. So if you want to talk to him, oh, he'll talk to you. No question. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Make sure you hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. We really, really appreciate it. It means a whole lot to us. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. We're live Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. with Engineering the Markets and then Pre-Market Prep with Norm and I. So, all right, we left off at open. Let's take a look here. Open at the moment. Let's do that again. Open. Yeah, we got 1.6. We got some good volume. Pre-market wish would have been better, but the volume is decent. Maybe a possible, guys. We'll give it a little bit of time here. It did have a nasty red day yesterday. It is down 5.1 with some decent volume. Maybe it could continue. I did not have this on my list yesterday, but let's see how the drop went. All right, so you got a nice little drop here at the open. Don't remember how well or bad this trades, so we'll have to just put in a possible for now. All right, I am going to stop here, guys.
I believe open was on a. Sorry, I was looking at some other stuff. Open's on a secondary anyway, so
it is
probably not the best of catalysts.
Not the best catalyst. That's what we're getting all this volume, right? Because I'm not seeing great action in the pre-market, but that volume was interesting, but that catalyst is not. So we'll remove this one, guys. Usually that doesn't trade very well from our experience. Norm, anything you like on your end this morning?
Yeah, actually, so these are, with a little bit of hesitancy, I'll mention these. First of all, on Reg, thank you for the $5 bomb on that. Much appreciated. That is, once again, a reminder it's going to cure childhood cancer, since this is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Anyway, much appreciated. I've got FuelCell, who's going to report earnings at any time. I will note their conference call is at 10 a.m. Eastern, so it's during market hours. I really am not a fan of that. If you, yeah, it's a pound, not a dollar. My apologies there. So, lost my
FuelCell.
FuelCell's supposed to be coming out with earnings here before the open. Should drop any minute. Their conference call's at 10, so during market hours, keep in mind. Things can go haywire when companies report, and then their call is during when the market is open. So just keep that in mind. Plug, sympathy move with FuelCell potentially. A lot of times they move together. And then Apple. Apple has their big phone event today, 1 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
And so while it may or may not be in play at market open, a lot of times it heats up and gets going when that event kicks off and with the news flow. So something to keep in mind for the day.
The only thing I want Apple to do is just change the damn lightning pole cable to a USB-C. Just do that. Save us some time here, guys. What was that?
Not gonna happen.
It is. I love how they say, yeah, we wanna ship your phone with no base to save on cost and the environment.
Such garbage, dude.
But if you really want to save on the environment, you change that to a USB-C, and trust me, we will all be happy, because I got tons of those cables for the Mac, for the tablet, and then your iPhone has a different cable. Such a business, I tell you. Wow. All right, that's my rant for the day. Let's move on to the chat room, guys. What do you guys like this morning? We'll start with let's see here. FuelCell, we have Norm P. We do have we did look at Lucid. I believe we looked at this. Actually, no, I don't remember looking at this chart. We did not look at this.
Yeah, we looked at Lucid.
We did? Okay.
Did we? It was on the list.
It was on the list. I talked about it, but you know what? I think it dropped off, and I probably did not look at it. I don't remember looking at this. All right, we'll look at it now. Here we go. Down 4.2, 1.3 million shares traded. You know what? I do like this drop here, though, guys. I do like this drop here this morning. It's got great volume.
Downgrade.
Yeah, I think this
one
might be good.
They initiated coverage out of Morgan Stanley with an underweight and $12 price target. So not really a downgrade. It's initiation, but it's a negative one.
Yeah, it's a -1 now, and the great volume. Pre-market action does look good on this one, guys. I'm going to add it on here. We're battling against this support level, trying to stay above that. We tested it right as the low of the pre-market. Let's see if we can hold here. But yeah, this looks good. We'll add that on there. Thank you, Norm P. Heading on down. FuelCell, we looked at. So that's on the list already, as Norm mentioned, and kind of broke that one down. MG and let's take a look here. MGI, no, we're not trading this as of now. It's not in play. I don't see no volume on that. Fubo, also very light on volume. I mean, they had a nice, nasty day yesterday. Some good, decent volume looks like, but for the most part, no volume this morning. And if they have news, we need to see how that news is going to play out and if it's going to drag any volume in here. What else we have? Dodge. I don't know. We're not looking at that one right now unless there's some news on it. Apple we do have, so that's good. RDHL. What do we got going on here? Huge drop. Looks, I don't want to say a buyout yet because the volume is not as high, but it did get halted, right? So you got a trading halt on this, that TS there. Not sure. We need to see what happens here. We need to give it a little more time. I'm not sure what the news is on this 37% drop here.
They had some COVID treatment phase 2-3 study news that came out a little bit ago.
All right, so some negative stuff happening there. That could be interesting. That could turn into something if we get volume. But look at this stock though. The daily is horrible, and you really don't have a whole lot of volume. The only reason I'm going to add it on here, rubber toe, is just to see if that is going to do anything for us. But I'm not a big fan of it at the moment. Of course, we just need more information. Edwin, our buddy, we looked at Open already. I'll look at Oracle for you. And again, this is one of those stocks that's very difficult to trade. They're down 3.5 this morning, 154. So yeah, something's up with them. But even when they're gapping down, and this stock is just, for me,
nightmare to trade.
It's a nightmare to trade. I agree. For me, I won't even add even with this drop here. I just, no, I don't know. I'll wait for you guys to call it out. Tell me there's something good happening, and then maybe I'll look at it at that time. SDC, let's see what's going on here. At the moment, 4.1 million shares traded. They're up 5.7. Again, good day yesterday. Pre-market action seems all over the place. I think we looked at this before. It is not one of the nicer and kinder stocks to have on the list.
It actually it traded okay back in the day, soon after it IPO'd, but it's kind of been off the radar recently.
Yeah, yesterday might have looked like a nice day here after 10 a.m. got going nice. That looks like a real nice chart there. But again, without looking at the price section, and you had great volume, 50 million. So, you know what? Maybe we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe we can do something today. Logan, let's take a look at NNVC today. NNVC, this is sitting on the American Stock Exchange, and it's probably probably a very large flow. Let's see. Oh no, low flow stock, which NNVC.
Yeah, none of their CDs. This one was in play a lot at the beginning of COVID because they're vaccine COVID stuff. They had some COVID news on a therapy come out a little while ago this morning, so I've been popping on that.
Interesting. And they also have earnings coming out this afternoon. Looks like post-market earnings here. Yeah, but based on, I'm not sure how accurate this is, based on trade ideas.
Okay.
So we'll see. I don't know, guys. I like Life. I'd rather watch Life for my low flow today. I'm not sure about this one as of right now. We'll throw it on here because it is moving well, and they do have earnings after the bell. So timing on this news release is very interesting. Okay, AMD. Let's take a look here. AMD, again, I don't think it's really in play, but this is one of those stocks that you can just always keep an eye on the market. If the market is moving one way or the other, or our scanners, we can take advantage of it, but I don't think it's really in play right now. And besides, do not worry. Peter will be watching this for you. He'll call it out if he sees something great. CCL, man, CCL's daily. Look at this daily here, guys. It's just madness. Going from red to green right now, but just very light on the volume. I know American Airlines, these two are kind of moving together based on the news we spoke about. What was it yesterday, the day before? So I'm not sure, guys. I don't think it's really in play right now. I'm not seeing anything great on it. United Airlines, we'll take a look here. Yeah, very light volume at the moment. So we'll have to see what develops there. All right, let's do a few more, guys, and then we'll have to stop. Tesla right now, very light volume, guys. Not really in play. Look at yesterday's action. I didn't look at Tesla yesterday. Look at this drop. Wow. I did not look at Tesla. Huge drop, recovery just to basically come back to where they left off. Could be interesting today, but they need volume. They really need some volume. All right, guys, we'll have to stop here. We've got some good tickers coming out at the moment, but we'll have to stop here as we're running out of time. Let's take a look over on our YouTube chat, see what we have going on there. NNVC, I did add that one there. I saw a couple of you people throwing it out. So, yeah, we added that one. Let's take a look at X. What is X up to this morning? No volume. I don't think it's really in play. mRNA, I saw that on both chats. Let's look at mRNA as well. Very light on volume, but again, they can tend to have a bad pre-market activity and still trade very well. Look at this drop yesterday, right? So, and again, and Norm, this goes to what you were saying earlier. if you were watching some of certain stocks, you could have had an amazing day. Like if you were watching this one, you could have had an amazing day. If you're watching, what was it, Tesla? We just saw Tesla. If you're watching Tesla, which I wasn't, you could have had an amazing day. Look at the continuation on this, going from 742 down to 710. So a lot has to do with the stocks that you're watching. That's a big part of trading. The key thing is though, if the stocks that you're watching are not doing well, do not force a trade. That is the key, right? That's the thing you do not want to do. All right, guys. What else? So mRNA. Again, it's just we won't know much until the market opens, so I'm not going to add it just yet. We'll have to wait for this one to get started. But I do like this drop here. Maybe we'll add this to a possible. See what's going on there. Neo, I believe we looked at Tesla, not much going on there. Neo, same drop and same comeback yesterday. Both interesting action on the daily yesterday. We'll see if any volume can come in, but they're both very light on volume today, so I just don't think they're really in play. But if you had fun with one of these yesterdays, you might be tempted to keep it on your list today, and I don't blame you because this was a nice drop, great recovery. We'll see where this is going to lead today. I mean, they're both staying above whatever level support they have. In Neo's case, is going to be that $38 mark right there. Let's take a look at AMC. I mean, it was just trash yesterday, guys. It's really bad yesterday. Today they have even less volume than yesterday in similar pre-market action, but less volume. I don't know. We'll have to wait. It's kind of consolidating here. Maybe we'll get some kind of breakout one way or the other. It had a beautiful run over the last couple of days. Maybe it's getting toppy and wants to kind of rest here, drop down. We'll have to see. But again, we know AMC is a great one to wait for the scanners to hit or for someone to call it out. But right now, I don't see anything that's great on this one. Pretty much flat and not in play unless something gets going. I think we looked at ATR. Yes, we did. It's on our list already down here. Could be fun. We'll have to see where it wants to go from here after such a nice run yesterday. All right, guys, let's stop here. I think we got a decent list. There's some good possibles, a lot of possibles that we just gotta wait to see how the pre-market action continues to develop and also how the market open tweets these stocks when the volume hits. So let's go to community events. We'll come back and chop up this list.
All right, guys. Tonight, you got Eamon's webinar on how to overcome overtrading. Just keep in mind that is 5 p.m. Eastern. It's at a special time because of his time zone. So be sure to check it out earlier than normal. Then tomorrow night, 8 p.m. the normal time, we've got Nada talking about developing a mindfulness routine. And next week, we've got our town hall with Dr. Katz. That's a special one. His last town hall with us. And he's going to be doing it with Andrew. So looking forward to that next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Just a reminder, all the super chat and super sticker revenue is going to be matched dollar for dollar by Andrew and donated to charity at the end of the month. This month, any of that revenue is going to be donated to cure childhood cancer, since it is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Thank you all very much. The kids appreciate it. All right, Rafzilla, you are killing me with the his new book is going to be titled Trading on Percocet. Since I think he has a kidney stone. So I hope you feel better, brother. All right. The Bear Bull Traders member trade of the day and trade of the week. If you want to participate in that, take a screenshot of your best trade with entries and exits, of course. Post it on Twitter, tagging at Bear Bull Traders, at MikeB_BBT, and at NormBBT. Also use the hashtags BBT Family, Day Trading, and Stock Market. We'll announce the winner each day in the room and on Twitter. And then all those trades of the day are eligible for trade of the week, which will be voted on by the team over the weekend and announced on Monday. And over on YouTube, please don't spam the chat. We've mentioned ATR multiple times at this point. It is on the list. Carlos will break down the chart for you in just a couple minutes here. All right. If you're speaking of YouTube, or if you are watching on YouTube and you'd like to try out the room, you can use the promo code PREMARKET24 to get a discount. Just go to bearbulltraders.com, scroll down the page till you see that test drive button as it is pictured right there. Click on it. At checkout, enter the promo code PREMARKET24. It'll get you a discount. That's 7 days, 7 calendar days, 5 trading days in the room. It does not auto-renew. It just cancels after that. You actively have to go choose to continue on if you are, and you won't be billed again otherwise. And then if you would like to become an elite member, you can still use that code. It is still available. Summer 40 to get 40% off the elite membership. So there you go.
All right, thank you, Norm. Appreciate that.
And there goes FuelCell, buddy.
It's moving. Let's
Oh,
get
just popped
get
50
that up
cents
on
in
the on the chart here. What do we have? Fuel cell. There it is. Nice. All right, guys. So that is starting to move nicely there. Let's add this to our main list. Fuel cell. We'll move it away from our secondary list and add it on here. All right.
This morning they just released earnings, and once again, I'll note, if anybody puts this on their list, that their conference call to discuss the earnings, and which sometimes the guidance given in those calls can move the stock more than the actual numbers themselves. That is at 10 a.m. Eastern, so 30 minutes after the market open, that call starts.
Yep. All right, guys, let's get to it. But first, we got to get more likes. We're at 160 likes only. So please slam that thumbs up, guys. It does mean a lot to us. So please take the time to do that. Take 2 seconds just to get that mouse over to that little thumb, hit that, and we will highly appreciate it. We always love to be above 300 at least. So let's see if we can do that. 183. Thank you very much. So if we could just get that going. 206. Beautiful. We're getting there. Just 194 more, and we'll be set. 217. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. All right, so let's get to it. We have Mara on deck. I put it on here because I noticed that some of the Bitcoin stuff was popping up. 237, thank you, was popping up here. So I have Mara just in case there's anything happening in that area. I have a wind on here as well, and we'll have to see how this goes. I like the drop on this one, and we might not see a better activity into the market open, but already we have 559,000, which is great volume for this stock. They normally do not have a great pre-market activity. Guys, be very careful with this one. It can move quite a bit. The spread will get better. It's 30 cents now, 40 cents, but man, this can move $1 and $2 just like that. So be mindful with the number of shares you take on this one. You know, you want to make your money on the move here, not the number of shares you take. But I like what's happening there now, dropping nicely. Apple I do have on deck here. We'll see where that goes. Great volume, guys, 1.3. So that's great volume for them this morning. LCID also looking good, 1.5. I like the pre-market action. I like the daily looks actually very interesting, guys, right? We try to get above 20. We couldn't. Nice rejection here. We're heading back down to this level. Are we going to drop? And we've been lower just recently. So this is not going to be difficult for them to do if we get going here. But right now, seeing a little bit of support of 1885. So either way, pop or drop, I think this one looking good at the moment. Fuel cell obviously looking very good right now. Hopefully, if you guys are in this already, take advantage of this amazing pop you're getting. Up 6%, 590,000 shares traded at the moment. This is going to be hot for today the way it looks. Then in our low flow stocks, we do have Life here, which continues to struggle getting above that 12, but definitely not for lack of trying. So it's trying to get that going. ATER, I don't know. It's not looking great pre-market. We might need to wait for them after the bell to see what happens there. But this would be one that would drop off. You know, when you have something like Life going here, and you have something like Fuel Cell with some good action, I think those are the ones taking away the action this morning. And NVC, I'm not a fan of now, especially after losing the VWAP here. We might need to wait a little bit for it to come down, find some support, and get going. 265, guys, come on, we can get there. We have 617 watching. I know we can get at least half of you guys to hit that thumbs up. The other half, if you're driving or doing something else, you know, you're forgiven. But if you are not driving, if you're not able to hit the thumbs up, I get it. But if you are, please do so. Okay. Let's do some levels, guys. Let's start with Mara here. Mara at the moment is stuck between the highs and lows of the last two. Dan, you already hit the like button, so you went over to YouTube and hit that for us. Dan is one of our members. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Hey, any way we can get there, members or not, it doesn't matter as long as we get the number, right? Let's get to our go. So Mara here, high of the pre-market right now, guys, sitting at a 36.84. High of the pre-market will slam a level there, and they were surrounded with the highs and lows of the last two trading days, right? So you got tons of levels here. Previous day close. I think you're pretty much set on this one. I am going to add this one level here, so I like this one here, this 37.86, and the reason I like that is because if you draw a line on there, you can see there's a couple of touches on here. You have this one here, obviously support. You have a couple of days just again around that area, opening and closing around that area. So that seems to be a spot that this stock might have some good movement, or either resistance or support if we can get through it. So that's all you really have to mark down. You can also do the low of the pre-market right on here. It's going to be at 36.05. which is all the way on here. We can mark that as well just to have it there. But outside of that, I think you're pretty much set. I'm going to move this one down to a possible, guys, if it doesn't get any better. I do like this pop that we're up 3.4. I want to see if there's anything that's going to come out of this one. All right, WYNN win here. They are down 7.8. I do like the action. I'm going to put a level here. 94.50 is the low of the pre-market. Nice big drop to them for them today. Between the low here, the lows of these days, all the bottom of this day here, the low from yesterday, right? This is yesterday's low around 99.42, which we don't need that now, so we can get rid of that 92.42. And the reason we don't need it is because you have your chart's going to mark down the last 2 trading days highs and lows, right? If you have that turned on. 97.59, great area of resistance here that can now become resistance again, or support if we can get through it. And towards the bottom, if we lose this 94.57, which we're trying to hold here the last couple of 30 minutes or so, we do have a couple of levels all the way down here. 90, 30, very clear level. Of course, you can see the area of support happening here. Another one all the way down here over at 87.60. Again, I don't think we'll get there. It's pretty far out, but at least we're prepared. These are major levels. I like this one, you like this one, and also this one, change in direction. These are very clean levels. Now, some possibles in between here is going to be this 92.31. We do have not many touches, but we do have at least 3 touches here. That could be interesting depending on how things play out. 92.35. And then towards the top, guys, I mean, you got tons of daily levels. You do not need to add any more on there. So heading back to next one, we have Apple. Apple right now stuck between the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. The previous close on there as well. 348, guys. Thank you so much. We got over our 300 like goal there. Appreciate that very much. Doesn't mean you have to stop. You can still do so if you haven't had a chance to hit that thumbs up yet. But thank you. Apple. High of the pre-market, 150.44. Huge drop yesterday. Remember, they have an event happening today. What time is the event, guys? They usually do it like around 1 o'clock. I'm not sure if it's earlier or not, but it's at 1, right? Yeah, so we'll see what happens there. Be on the lookout for that. Again, it can do something. It can make things run. So just be aware of that. They have great volume already, 1.4 million, and their pre-market action is not looking bad at all, actually. So definitely keep an eye on that. 153.39, another area. Again, not a great daily level, right? It's not going to be like this level here, where, for example, this one here, the low from the last 2 trading days. That's an amazing level. You can see how much this thing has been playing around with the candles, resistance, support, more support, resistance, more support. So that's a great level. This one's not that. You only have a little bit of resistance and maybe some support happening there, but at least you have something midway between some of the highs here from that huge candle that we built 2 days ago. So that is Apple, guys. Good one to have on deck. Lucid. Or Lucid, whatever the company name is. Right now, I do like this daily, guys. I like the drop of 3.9. Low of the pre-market, 1880. And you got a lot of support here at 1880 and an area of resistance. So that looks good. Towards the top, there's a lot of congestion up here. You do have highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. You got the previous day close. It's just a whole lot going on there. I would love for this thing to reject and head towards the bottom where they can find less areas of resistance to get through. 1802, and then obviously all the way down here, 1612. Again, I don't think we'll get there, but you're prepared if it does. You can high of the pre-market is just slightly lower from the low from yesterday, so I'm not going to mark it. It's not that important at the moment. I think this 1965, which is the low from yesterday, is a more significant level to have on your list. Also, I don't want to have all these levels all over the place. I want to keep it nice and simple this morning. Here's a FuelCell taking off, guys, up 11%, getting through 625 right now, so it is on fire, guys. Ready to go here towards the bottom. Your cover highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Now let's look towards the top because that is where the action looks a little more interesting. We do have a level here, 660. This 660 is the high of this area that we had in some time. You also have a struggle right around here, which I'm going to mark as well as 641, right? Tons of candles could not get above that 641 there. They struggle, and then you get down to your 660 right on here, which is also, you can see more confirmation of that 660 later earlier in the month of September. I'm sorry, August as well right on here. So that's going to be good if we're able to run, because this thing can run today. Actually, we got tons of levels on this thing towards the top, which look pretty decent. If we get above 660, which is possible with the volume that we're getting right now, 1.3 million news behind this thing, 697 might actually be $7, but there you do have an area of resistance as well. You want to have that on deck. And then right up here, this is not a great one because there's not as many touches as you would have like on a 697, right? You have here, this area here, here, and here as well on 697. But if you look at 729, you do have a wick right over here and another one as support there. Again, not amazing. It's not going to be like when you're consolidating and banging your heads back and forth against that level. But you do have some possibilities of that being something if we do get going this morning. So let's see, struggling to get above this 625. 641 is the best next level that I have down here. You might have something around 613. But again, we're past that, so I'm not going to mark that down. But let's see where it goes here as it's trying to get past that 625 this morning. All right, the possibles. We have JMIA this morning as a possible. We have plug. There's news here as well on these two, I believe. And so we'll see what they are, how they move. I do like plug, guys. When plug gets the volume, it trades very well. So I'm going to be looking out for that. RDHL, we put it on here. The news is not great on it, and it's still not trading very well. Very choppy. So I might end up dropping this one off as we get closer to 9:30. And I see what the rest of the moderators have on their list, which I see some of them trickling in already. So we'll see what we got going on there. SDC, again, I'm not a big fan of this one. Had a big day yesterday and actually traded very well yesterday. And as Nor mentioned, this one used to trade very good in the past. So maybe they're getting back to that. Not sure. The volume is there, but the pre-market is still very choppy for 4.7 million shares traded. But there are eyes on this one with that type of volume, so worth having as a possible for right now. But again, might not stay there. mRNA at the moment, pretty quiet, but we have to see. This thing can get going. Their pre-market actions tends to be quiet, guys. Look at yesterday's action here, right? If you look at this pre-market action, this is an action that I would not normally watch, right? To forget about this here, right? You're looking at this, you might not like the way this looks. And then look at the drop you got yesterday. So really in play, man. It was real nice. So I won't put too much weight on their pre-market action this morning. They are sitting at an interesting area on the daily area of resistance, prior support recently. So we're kind of trying to figure out what's next here. Could be interesting. We'll keep it as a possible for now. All right, let's look at Life. Life is also broke out of $12. I'm gonna do some levels on this one because this one does look really good. 917 is, 980 low of the pre-market. Right now in the 5-minute, you do have some areas you want to mark down. You want to mark down this 1157. Great area of resistance, breaks out of that, now becomes support. That is what you want to see, and then the breakout again. Does do it again at 12. You had an area of resistance here, right, at 12. Sets the high there. Resistance comes back down, tests 1157, and then breaks out of 12 again. We'll see where it lands next as it continues to make this high here. On the daily, have we been anywhere up here before? Doesn't seem like we have in quite some time. So I don't know if it's all-time high, guys, but we're going to treat it like it. The last time we've been around here was back in February at 837. We're well past that. And if I just click on here, no, this thing opened up, looks like back in March, no, April, May, yeah, April, and of last year, 2019, 2020, and yeah, it has not been anywhere up here in the past. So all-time highs right now. That is nice for this, looking really good. ATER, no, this is garbage today. This is garbage. Let's get rid of this. It's just pushing volume around. It might get better later, but why waste our time when we have some really good ones like Life, FuelCell right now? You know, let's focus our bandwidth, our mental bandwidth on what is actually doing pretty well. NNVC, also another one that I don't want to probably waste no time on today. Let's get rid of that one too, and we can wait for that to hit our scanners. I think we have a pretty decent list this morning. Yeah, I think we're looking pretty good. All right, let's head over to our moderators watch list. Guys, remember, we do have Brian and Andrew trading live this morning. So make sure you stick around over on YouTube. They will be trading live for the bell. They'll be on in just a second. But while they get set up and I bring over our moderators watch list, let's take a look at what's happening there. Let's resize this. I see Brian coming in with his list, so he's getting ready to go as well. We'll get that going. Guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up over on YouTube as I do this. Take the time to do that, and I will bring this over. Let me see. Here we go. There it is. All right. Let's see what we have. So starting with Peter, IPOs for today, SRAD, and we got another SPAC here, PAFU. I love the names of these SPACs. They're just so funny. PAFU is a SPAC opening up today. John is looking at BA, Mara, and SQ. Dima, she likes Apple, LCID, Plug, and FuelCell. Very nice list. Tiffany, Apple, WIMD, and BA. So also nice list there as well. Peter has AMD, Apple, FuelCell, WIMD, BA, and ATER. So yeah, we're pretty much watching the same thing here. So great list there for Peter. Here's Brian, and Brian will always throw something, a curveball. If you look at Brian's list, there's always a ticker that is out of nowhere, which we love, right? So let's see what Brian has for us today. Life, FuelCell, LVS, so far so good. LCID, all right. And here we go. Run and TAN. And we'll have to ask Brian later how he got those tickers. All right, so let's look at Run. Let's look at Run here. See, usually there's not much going on, but he'll have something that later down the line he'll say he knew it. So we'll have to see what he knows on Run. And then we have to see what he knows on TAN, which also doesn't look all that good, but he knows something. So we'll wait for that.
Run's probably sympathy on FCell would be my guess.
Okay.
And because that's solar. And then TAN is that sector. TAN's an ETF, I believe.
Gotcha. All right. Perfect. There we go. And then Mike coming in with his list. Only Apple for what he likes this morning. So very selective on what it's going on there. So guys, pretty good. I like this morning better than yesterday. So let's see how it turns out. I think we have some really decent opportunities here right now. Apple. Okay. See, Apple is starting to get nice, Norm, now. Apple is really looking good this morning. So I like that. FuelCell on fire. Yeah, we're ready to rock and roll, guys. All right, we will wait for Brian and Andrew to hop on, and then we will be set. Today is Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday, guys. Success webinar today. We do have Amen. Remember, guys, 5 p.m. Eastern time. So do not miss it. Will not be at 8 p.m. This evening. So make sure you are there for that. So good, and it's over trading, which is a very, very important topic when it comes to trading. All right, very good. Life is just crushing it right now. Look at this thing. Heading to 1250 at the moment, just on fire. And do we have levels for this? No, it's all-time highs we talked about. Okay, so yeah, that's the highest we can go there. Yeah, life is good. I agree.
I remember the Life board game commercials from the 80s and the song that went along with them, and I can't get it out of my head ever since I saw that ticker pop up.
I don't know the song, but don't sing it because it's probably one of those catchy themes that that just goes nuts on you. I end up singing the school bus songs. My son is into all these songs, and they just, I find myself driving and singing these kids songs in my head. I'm just like, what am I doing? Let me put some rock or something. Let me put something I can get this stuff out of my head. We're getting a little echo there.
Yeah, is that Brian, I think, maybe?
No, I think it's probably Andrew. Andrew has to mute. But he doesn't have his headphones on, so he might not be able to hear us. There he is. Fixed it. All right, cool. Guys, we're all set. Good morning, Andrew. Good morning, Brian. Oh, Brian stepped away from his desk. There he is. He went to get the tequila, and now he's ready to go. So, good morning, guys, and we're going to hop off and leave you to it. Guys, over on YouTube, thank you so much. 412 likes. Now, that's what we're talking about. Appreciate
nice.
that
Thank
very much.
It means a lot.
When we get above 300, above 400, it means a lot to us. So thank you so much. If you haven't done so already, make sure you do that. It means the world to us. So over to Brian and Andrew. Take care, guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Trade safe.
All right. Thank you so much for the great
Thank you, everybody.
show. Good morning. Good morning. Life is good.
Life
and
is
I mean
good.
by life is this life, not that life.
Yeah, I've traded it once already, but I'm out of it now. I'd be watching for a pullback on this as we get closer to the open.
Oh, you traded yesterday, huh?
I traded it this morning. I traded it through 12.
LVS up to. What about?
No. No, this is a hoodie.
AVTR. So my gap as watch was kind of messed up. The numbers and everything. Oh, it's because my computer is messed up.
What's going on with the casino? What's going on with the casino stocks? Wynn and Las Vegas Sands both down. Yeah, bunny hug. Okay. When CEO is retiring doesn't seem like a reason for Las Vegas Sands to sell off.
It's kind of numbers are kind of messed up in my PC. Apple is up, so I think I'm gonna pretty
I
much
see.
watch exactly like what Brian has done. Apple is interesting. Win
Apple.
CEO is this way.
Yeah, Apple has an event today, so new iPhone. What Tesla's getting jiggy. Tesla's getting jiggy.
AVTR.
Okay.
AVTR.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at, oil creeped up yesterday. Oil and the XLE actually had a big day yesterday. Dollar's down quite a bit today. Not quite a bit. And I think, I haven't seen what yields crept up a bit yesterday. So maybe that's why the Qs were off a bit. Consumer price. So the consumer price index came in a little bit lower than expected. Everyone expected. I thought the expectation was for 5.4. It came in at 5.3. Doesn't seem like.
What's the news on life? Anyone know that? Big pharma thing. It's the cure for COVID.
New cure for COVID.
Good drug trial. And the float on it is...
Yeah. I saw Oracle. I'm just... that was one I was going to... forgot to add to my watch list. Although it's kind of choppy right now. I'm liking Las Vegas Sands for a maybe Rising Devil trade. Lucid LCID isn't was kind of looking interesting. It's not looking that interesting anymore. It's kind of looking weak. What's the new? There's obviously news on Lucid too. 5 minutes to the open, you guys.
So from price action, the only thing that I really like is live. I'm going to see how it trades at the open. It's actually extended at the open, but looks very strong. So yesterday also, what was the price action on yesterday?
Oh yeah, okay. Lucid had sort of a downgrade. Yeah, Las Vegas Sands still looking weak here. No, don't run without me.
AVTR. AVTR is interesting, but this gap is up. See what AVTR is being traded. What else do we have? FCell. Wasn't FCell back to $20 back? I remember it. Yeah, 38.28. Back to garbage, right?
Back to garbage. Well, they all got hit pretty hard.
That's the first rule of thermodynamic of market. Garbage goes back to garbage. Or maybe not.
Or maybe not.
Yeah, exactly. Apple is at 150 back. AMC is doing nothing.
Sand. LVS.
Garbage in or garbage out, exactly.
LVS for Las Vegas Sands. Got both up, because I got an extra chart here. I got Las Vegas Sands and Win. But I like LVS a little bit better.
Apple running up. Q's popped up really nicely. IWM is doing some stuff. Chance to get out of IWM.
Be careful with that.
I like the FCell too.
Just be careful with Apple because these events tend to be sell the news. So, yeah, I'm not too crazy about anything yet. Las Vegas Sands and Life are and FCell. Lucid, Oracle look kind of choppy. We'll watch for a breakout on those. Here's a bit of a pullback on Life as we're getting close to the open. Apple's dropping.
Oh, Thor made it. Hey, yeah, Thor's wife had some issues, but you made it, Thor. Great job, buddy. And this morning you were
rock.
Apple, a drop before the open. Life is really good. Hoping to get a pullback on Life for a potential breakout. It's just holding R3 now.
Thor had to take his wife to the optometrist, so he just left her there. I gotta leave. I'm out of here, honey.
I'm gonna go trade Life. I'm gonna trade Life.
Yeah. No, Thor's not like that. Okay. Well, I'm gonna probably end up waiting for a few minutes just to unless Life gives me an opportunity right away here. We'll watch for a pop up to around 40 on Las Vegas Sands for a short. Lucid looks choppy right now.
Awesome. So what I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna go stop, see what Life is giving us.
Here we go.
Clearly strong. Apple very strong. FCell not much. AMC
Lucid's breaking out.
Q's are ripping.
Funny, Morgan Stanley. I'm long some Lucid here, just on this breakout.
AVTR, no volume.
Short
Life is
some,
probably going to go.
yeah, short some Las Vegas Sands. Just
Gas 1250. $9.58. 12. I'm buying some life here. I'm buying some life, small size, because you don't know if this one wants to catch up or not.
LVS back to my break even.
Oh yeah, beauty, beauty. 1267. No, hold. Selling some more at 1256. 1274. See if we can go through 13.
I'm selling I'm selling Lucid. I don't really like the way it's kind of just stalling here. Here we go. It's life. I got long life as well here. I think it's going through 13.
I know.
Maybe a bit of a pullback here.
Adding a little bit more on it, see if you can break the 13.
I think your ad is pushing it higher.
Come on, you can break the 13. Or maybe not. Getting out of it completely. I think I has the choice to go, but I'm getting out of it completely. I think I'm done with my day, actually. It's one of those things that should I put the handcuff or not? FuelCell popped up really nicely. FuelCell might be
Yeah, it's
long.
breaking out. FCell's looking long.
Adding some FCell 630. Let's see if FCell can give us a pop.
Still sticking with some my LVS short here. Whew. Glad we got out of life. Bailed on
Getting out
life.
of the FCell completely. I'm all out on FCell. I just didn't like the price action on it. I'm all out on it. It's just I don't want to risk it. Handcuffs. I don't know. I mean, I didn't make much of the money that I want to use handcuffs, but I'm up 2,900. I don't know if it's a good number. Why would I bother? Oh God, Trump just stopped me from this gambling addiction.
Just covering some LVS here, just above 39.
LVS.
Yeah, it was rising devil trade.
Did anyone take the life? I kind of knew life is not going to give us a really nice clean opening range breakout. That's why I kind of bought that one at the bottom. Qs are selling off. Nice. Very nice. FCell is doing nothing. Tesla is holding at R4.
Tesla popped.
Yeah.
I think it's probably going to go. Yeah. See, Apple's selling off. The IWM dropped a bit here. See if it spies back at the VWAP.
FCell eventually popped up, but let's see what Apple is doing. Apple is really garbage. The price action on Apple is not great, that's for sure. Neo.
Microsoft selling off.
Qs are coming back
Just
up.
got I got along some Tesla just on that ABCD pattern.
Yeah, beautiful ABCD pattern. Very, very
Yeah.
beautiful. Which exactly a very nice 5-minute open range breakup.
Yeah.
Qs are bouncing. IWM.
All right. Las Vegas Sands. I'm going to take a little more off here.
You're short on LVX?
Yeah. Still short. Yeah.
Yeah, this big level here, 38. AMC is weak today. FSL popped up. Oh, Life. I don't want to. Life. I don't want to touch it. It's
FCell's going now, eh? I was tempted to take Life off the VWAP there.
exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking of buying it right around 12.
Yeah.
But it's one of those days for me right now that I'm up 2,900, and I don't know if I should trade or not. So, it's just one of those handcuffs that you might regret it later, unless something really talks to me. I'd rather not to trade it. That's why I got out of FCell, because I kind of found that the price action a little bit not as active or uniform. Life might, if it loses the VWAP, and we're going to be a good flush. It's turned out to be weak.
Just watching Las Vegas Sands at the 9 moving average on the 2-minute chart. If it gets through there, I'll bail on it. Sitting there, right? It's sitting on that line right now.
FCell. Okay. Yeah, life is seems that he wants to really lose the 12. No shares for short.
Life lost.
ISE. Yeah, popped up, but the volume hasn't picked up on it. That was really nice, price. Life is a short here, but if you can get the short. Ron is running.
I'm out of the rest of Las Vegas Sands. I just don't like the way it's gotten above the 9 moving average now. So I only had 20% of my shares left. Wow, Lucid has decided to go here. It's going to take some off on Tesla. 752.
Yeah, probably test the R3 at 753.
SPY's rolling over here.
Yeah, Qs are selling off hard. AMD. Life is holding this 12.
Yeah.
Really, really holding. Apple, really garbage. Everything is garbage at this stage. Oracle.
Geez, should have flipped my position on LVS.
Ron, I saw Ron is moving up, but it doesn't have much of an order flow. I'm just not a big fan of that order flow. Life, I think today is a handcuff day. Oh, DKNG. Wow, what a trade. Eamon, when you take the screenshot, zoom in a little bit, because now most of your screen are just pre-market, which is useless. Your trade is not that obvious. I'll send that to you.
Well, Oracle's breaking down here.
Your screenshots are really hard in all your time frame. Hey man, stop. Life is gonna lose it. I don't have a trade book here. I mean, it could be a potential fallen angel, but life is getting really, really tricky. I mean, potential 1172 buy in this area could be a buy like fallen angel. I think it has another squeeze on it, but it's unlikely that goes back up high, too high of the day.
FuelCell just grinding higher.
I know I got out of it. Now I regret getting out of it. You know, when you are having a good day, actually, at least you had a good trading day. I get performance anxiety, and just because not losing it.
Okay, I'm out of the I'm out of the rest of Tesla. I don't like the way it rolled over there, so I'm flat on the rest.
Qs are really weak, so.
Life still looks like it's got life in it, but I don't want to trade it now. LVS just wanted to shake me out of the last bit of my short there. Yeah, market's selling off again. SPY selling off, Q selling off, just like yesterday. Just like yesterday. IWM's gone red on the day.
I know. Life is trying to come back up, but I don't really trust it that much.
ATER is starting to warm up a bit. Yeah, life is it's struggling with life here. FuelCell still popping. Pullback was probably a buy.
Life is still holding this 1172.
Lots of liquidity on FuelCell.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Lots of yeah, all the way up the ladder there to $7. Here goes FuelCell. Yeah, see that I can see Oracle kind of bouncing around.
F cell popping up. Yeah, couldn't get the F cell unfortunately, but
I
it's,
didn't understand why you didn't stick with it. It looked strong.
yeah, I was expecting it to be much more uniform order flow. It's just I really didn't like and again I got the performance anxiety that I don't want to mess around with it. Um, yeah, life is just. I don't know. Life is just holding this 1172. I'm taking another long on life. I might regret doing that, but I'm taking another long on 11. Oh, no, 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 no. As soon as I got in. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no way. Isn't it amazing how that happens?
See if you can hold this 1175. Probably not, but I'm probably going to get stopped out on it. Bastards. Getting out of all of it. Yeah, give some profit back. Told you should not do that. I knew I should put handcuff on.
You use that lock on the montage.
I think it's going to break down.
Volume's really dropping off on it.
Yeah.
Still, yeah. SPY looks like it's going to drop again here.
I think another quick long scalp on it and see if we can. 65. It's really getting another long on it at 1165. Make some of that loss back.
Averaging? No, it's not averaging down.
No, I got out of it completely. Now I'm in at 1165. Let's see if we can. It looks like it's really holding this level. I gotta give it a little bit of room, but it's definitely if it loses this and the volume comes in, you gotta get out of it.
I'm just going to sell some FuelCell here.
So 1180. Let's see if you can touch the VWAP. Do you think we can touch the VWAP?
SPY is going to
Not.
go red on the day.
I am long some at 1165. Let's see if we can get a pop. If not, I'm getting stopped out, which most likely
Wow.
I'm getting stopped out. This is what's going to happen. It's
Ella,
going to stop me out and then squeeze above the VWAP. You'll see. As soon as I get stopped out, it's going to run up. I can predict the
LAC,
future right
yeah,
for you. Right.
LAC is ripping. Lithium America.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
So I'm just holding FuelCell for 7.
Damn it. Fuel cells at 7.
No, I'm holding it for 7. Still got another 20 cents to go.
I'm getting out of life. And I told you, it's going to stop me out and it's going to go up.
I'm going to bail on life.
Life sucks. Literally.
Here you go. Did you get out of it because it's going up now?
Didn't I tell you that that is exactly going to happen? It's going to stop me out and then it's going to go above the VWAP. I predicted the future. I have a magic
No.
ball. It's just sometimes you think the market is messing with you. And then Peter says, what do you use that for? What should I use in this case? Damn it.
I think there's lots of acronyms.
You can use. Yeah.
Here we go, FuelCell.
Did we?
Still lots of liquidity up the ladder here to 7. Big ask at 7. 92,000.
I hate
I just
myself. I hate my life.
I'm gonna sell some here at 92, 692.
Welcome, Anthony.
I think it's gonna pull back here a little bit. Nice, Kyle. Kyle's in there with me,
Nice.
trading FuelCell. Yeah. I just added a little back there at 684. Yeah, FuelCell's been a nice steady runner.
Very nice. Beautiful. I have a big FOMO and not being in there, but it's just.
Nice, Alex. Well, I took it long with you. I didn't. When you bailed, I thought, oh, what am I? Am I missing something? Come on, it's got to get to 9. I got to get it to 7 here. Yeah, I told you. What did I tell you? I said SPY's going to go red. There you go. I knew it. Should have played the options. Here we go. Here we go, FuelCell.
Wow, fuel cell is nice. Life.
Gonna sell a bit of the stuff I added back. I
Chris, lots of life. FCell is 696, Brian. It's gonna touch your 7. There's must be huge ask at 7. Huge.
Oh yeah, there was 92,000 there at one point. I didn't look to see what it is now. 89,000, 85,000.
Yeah, my end popped up.
Yeah, I told you, you watch out for. Oh, there goes Tesla. Bugger. Pull me again. Just stop me out. Yeah, I told watch out for Apple because it's like I said, these events are quite often a sort of sell the news thing. Oh, LAC is still ripping. Dun, dun. Here we go. It's going to make 7. I'm waiting here. I'm waiting at 7:01.
Beautiful. Why am I not in there? What is that? What's happening with me? Nice short on Apple, James.
Yeah.
Oh, life. I'm the most idiot trader ever.
4 cents away. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
7
Didn't
huge
get a fill.
ask. Yeah, it's like
Yeah, I didn't get a fill.
it's gonna break out. Look at this here. This is it now. Wow, look at the asks. Pops up a few cents.
Yeah.
Oh, they're taking it. Oh, there you go.
There we go. Got a fill now.
It's gonna go to 705. Nice. This is so good. So beautiful.
Yeah. So I'm pretty much I'm out of it now. Got the rest out at 7:01. Yeah, Lucid is starting to sell off here, eh? That was a nice FCell was a nice, really nice, clean trade.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm quiet. I just I don't see anything in my that fits my scalping strategy. FSO was really nice. I bailed on it.
A nice entry. Wow, did you ever get a great entry there? Just right at the open.
I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, nice trade, Amir. Yeah, there were a few good ABCD patterns. Another way you could have traded it was off the 9 moving average, because you could see a couple of times, it bounced off the 9 moving average several times and then just kept going higher. That's on a 2-minute chart. Oh, jeez. Las Vegas Sands, you're killing me. Oh, there goes a SPY. SPY is really dropping now. Same with the IWM. TLT's pushing up. TLT's been popping up on the scanner, which means the yields are dropping. That's interesting. Yeah, it's still got some skin here. Still got some skin in the game. And nice trade him on FuelCell. Another nice trade there. Nice clean move. Jake, what did you do? Another trade on FuelCell. Very nice. Very nice. Got out of the rest up around 7. John, again, nice trade on FuelCell. Yeah, nice trading on FuelCell. It was definitely a good trading stock today. Nice clean move higher. Couldn't ask for a better opening range breakout trade. Little bit of a pullback at the open, and then just breaking out. That's just a classic pattern. Well, it's just looking at the looking at the level 2, because I'm sure there was a lot of liquidity underneath the on the ladder down as well. But you just got to play the you really got to just play the chart and play the price action. So I'm just looking at FuelCell right now, thinking maybe we'll see if the 20 moving average is below the VWAP right now. We'll see if we get a pullback to the VWAP here, because if we do get a pullback to about 665 ish, I'll look at taking a long on it again. Because 665 is around where the VWAP is. So again, we just bounced off the 9 moving average here. ATER. Yeah. Well, high or low anyway. For double bottom, usually I like to see. I like to see it resolve a little quicker. I mean, you could almost see this double bottom here was. First bottom was 934, and then the second bottom was at 938. I like to if it's a double bottom, I like to see it a little bit, like the time duration between the first and second pullback, a little bit tighter than sort of 20 minutes. although it does establish no matter how you cut it, it establishes an area of support. And now you've got a higher low being put in here around 1520. Look at FuelCell's going to go some more here.
Wow.
See, that would have been a good ad right back at the 9 again. You can see how people play the 9 moving average.
Well, look, it's potential short on it. Big ask at 720.
Well, that's true, and yeah, Chris, and actually a lot of day traders do use the 9 moving average. They trade off of it. They'll add positions when it gets to the 9, and then they'll when it starts getting extended, they'll sell. So they just keep trading around the. They just keep trading in and out of their position.
We're short on FuelCell here at 724. Let's make a quick scalp down. It's 721. Let's get it.
There's a gap to fill. There's a gap to fill here around 750.
Putting some weird down here.
Yeah, ATR. Yeah, nice move there. Popping up. It's at the VWAP now.
I'm short a little bit from 723. Let's see if we can get to 710. Looks a little bit extended. And 725 is a level. Oh, yeah. Covering here some. Life eventually broke down. That's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Now it can be a massacre.
Yeah. It spent a lot of time around 12. Couldn't get it going higher, and so people that were hoping for a pop are now they're now bailing on it.
Yeah, definitely. There are a lot of people getting stopped out. That's why I got stopped out at my break even in the second trade, because if this happens, you don't want to be in there really. So FuelCell is coming back to my break even point. Still very strong. Let's see what FuelCell is doing. Really wants to push to 725. I leave it to my short here at 720.18. Let's see if we can get another. I'm adding a little bit to my short here, although it's a little bit tricky trade, but I'm expecting a touch to 9 moving average and 1 minute chart. Oh yeah, like this, exactly like this.
Yeah, it's definitely running out of steam here, buy side.
Definitely due for a pullback here. I mean, and to be honest with you, I don't have a really good trade book on it. I know Eamon has this kind of climatics reversal. He's done a couple of presentations on that. I don't know exactly the entry, but this fund seemed to me a little bit extended. And let's see. My new average is at 720. Let's see if you can get another big. I might not expecting a huge flush, but maybe to 705 or something. Because this might come back. It could become a 920 trade. What's the 2-minute chart look like? If you can back to this, that would be nice. Yeah, IWM is getting destroyed. What's happening?
All the indexes are in the red.
Getting out of FuelCell completely. I might go for the break of high of the day again.
And it still looks strong.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And again, this kind of climate text. Ayman has a name for it. Climatic reversals. That is a name for it, but I don't have it.
Climatic. I think you need sort of a surge in volume, along with the pop in price.
Parabolic. Yeah, they're not that parabolic, but yeah, they're type of, Chris. Yeah, Ayman has some good entry and exits on them, but I don't. So that was more like a gut feeling. Yeah, you got to be really careful. This one didn't even touch the 9 moving average. Again, the problem with this kind of trades is when you don't have a trade book, you don't know. Getting consistency is really hard. You got to be really careful. ATR is running up
Yeah,
again.
ATR is going again. Yeah.
See, the volume is picking up on it, eh? Hey,
Hey.
hey.
Yeah, there it goes to the View app this time. Again, this is the second time it's tried to get through the View app.
There's a huge ask 725. Taking another short on FCL. See for the 725. See if you can get to 716.
Lucid's just might be putting in a double bottom here, but it really hasn't been trading very cleanly. Might break down here. I don't know. The SPY is looking like, again, we've got another leg lower here.
FCL is so strong, man.
Yeah, still got buyers.
I know. Every pullback is being bought back up. There's no kidding. Let's see. Having a little bit more on short here at 725. got squeezed. Oh, no. I'm getting squeezed. Okay, I'm getting out of it. Okay, I'm getting out of it. I got squeezed. I told you, when you don't have a trade book,
Hard to short a strong stock.
let it go. Apple is just hovering over previous day close. King
Yeah.
of levels. Yeah, the way that FuelCell is gonna go up, I don't know. Might go. Would be a good place to short it again. What's the news on FuelCell? Is there any particular news on it?
There's something to do with fuel cell and plug. Yeah,
I guess two would be the
they
next
had
place.
their earnings at 6 in the morning. EPS was they lost 4 cents instead of 5, and their sales were beat estimates. So the Apple event is at 1 p.m. Eastern time. 1 p.m. Eastern? Excuse me. 1 p.m. Eastern time. So 10 o'clock Pacific. Yeah, fuel cell just continues to go here.
I think the next level is really 750.
750. Yeah,
it's going to
750.
752. I might take another stab on it short at 752. I had a bad day. Neo. No, 920 trade shouldn't be below the revap, so. I wouldn't be surprised if FuelCell goes to 8 today. AMC broke down. Quite exactly. Then that's real in 920 trade. So I love that. That was a really, really good one. HP, why do I want to short? Well, there are two types of trading. Is you either trend trading or counter trend trading. So FuelCell is really extended to get into the long, at least based on my style. So there's an opportunity for it for a reversal or pullback. So I wanted to get, take a short on it, because it's just very difficult to get a long on it. It's already extended, as you see on all of the frames. And I was really good at it. I cut a good one, but it's just I got squeezed on that one. You either trade on a trend or you counter trend trader, or you can be both. I mean, all the reversals are essentially a counter trend. This one is a very strong stock, has gone up like 30%, and it's reaching to a daily level. There is a potential for it for a kind of a big drop or something that if you can catch it. And I'm hoping that I can get it to 752. Like 716 was the level, and as you see, I got a couple of good shorts, but I shouldn't have continued trading it. So let's see if we can get it at 752. AMC down 3%. AMC might go down to 48. Yeah, 49. Yeah, AMD is really squeezing.
Yeah.
So see, the asks are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger on FuelCell.
Yeah, look at it. It's still going.
See above 752.
Yeah. OCGN, that from yesterday. Watch that yesterday.
So what? I'll do another short at 752-ish.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, it's
I'm
back at fair value now.
Let's see for the next push on 752. Touched just 750, huh? Let's see if you can go. AMD is ripping, eh?
Yeah, Nvidia's up a bit.
$752.
Nvidia's pretty choppy. What's AMD look like chart-wise? Yeah, it broke out.
Getting a little bit short on this guy. Let's see if you can make it drop on it.
Well, to everybody out on YouTube, I hope you've had a good day. FuelCell was really the stock to be in today.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it was a nice.
Very
it's been a nice, just clean move all the way up.
Yeah, thank you. If you appreciate the like or subscribe to our channel, I'm in the FuelCell. AMD is really, really ripping.
Jeez.
So I'm short FuelCell at 747. Let's see if we can the 750 push. Damn it. I need to leave it here and that one. See if you can get a drop here.
I'm wishing I was short Las Vegas Sands still. Jeez. Brutal. Huh. Okay, Peter. Good. I'm glad somebody took that trade. Peter's becoming a rising devil guy too.
I'm covering some at 742.
Nice,
I'm not going
Luis.
to do. Oh yeah, this is the type of thing that I was hoping to get. So I'm covering some, and that's
love that. Who doesn't like the devils, eh?
right. It just look at that. My last short ad on it. That would have been that was a nice one. See if you can get another
Just trying.
drop. Average is at 748. Come on, let's get another 10 cents from it.
We might be finally getting a. No, I didn't take OCGN. There really wasn't a lot of. Potential there. I'm just talking about the distance between the 9 and the 20. It was only like 4 or 5 cents. It definitely did get through the 9 and reject off the 20. That definitely was a sort of a 920 trade.
Chill, FuelCell, chill. Somebody tells the FuelCell to chill. Be a good place to add short.
The 750 level definitely is the gap fill and area of resistance.
Yeah, yes. I added some of these at 740 here. Let's see if you can get down a little bit. I think if you make a new 5-minute low, we can get a drop to 730. Did you see the big bead on down here? I saw that. That's why I went short. I added a little bit more on that. I don't know if you noticed that or not. Yeah, the beads are coming down, so people are expecting the price to drop. But not a lot though. I'm not expecting this one goes back to 690. This is a very strong stock. It's gonna probably bounce back. But I just had a really nice time on it. It's on this one.
I think this could be a 920 trade if it gets, again, the 20 moving average is now at around 715.
Yeah.
So if it gets to 715, could be a good long.
This is definitely going to go back up. I'm just trying to get this momentum on the short term. I'm losing everything I have on TNA and IWM, so I might as well make money here. It's so weak. IWM is so weak. This sector is just pure 2000 garbage stock altogether. Combined, they don't have the revenue of. My revenue is probably higher than all of those 2000 companies combined. It's just a bunch of bastards. They have no strength. That sector. Oh, that's a huge ask at 740. It's gonna probably squeeze me. Launcher is back. Not bad, T. Not a bad idea. Okay, so I'm covering more here. Oh, that's a nice. It's not gonna flush down to 716 like lab. This is not a stock that is gonna flush, but definitely this pullback is a really good short covering opportunity. Nice. So 920 trades, 716. Yeah, I'll hold a little bit for 716. Oh, now is the day that Andrew is happy. Oh, finally. Chris trading AMC is garbage. Today is garbage AMC. But it did had a really nice bounce from 49.80. That's for sure. So let's see if the FuelCell can do a 920 trade. Well, I'm going to cover at 716. A lot of people might buy at 716 plus short covering. You know, actually, this is a really good example for our 920 webinar because that's completely the opposite of 920, but shows the mentality why the stock is bouncing back from here. A lot of people who are short up there, they're covering because they don't expect the price comes to VWAP. So that's a really good profit target for the shorts. Therefore, if you can jump in long there, then
Yeah, I'm getting long here at 721.
so that means that's you know, people who are jumping long plus the shorts like me who are covering, you know, causes the price to push back up. Now my average is almost at the high of the day, so I can hold for a pullback. You know, it might pull back from 20 to 9. I can hold this, but Brian will take the profit from this small price fluctuation. I'm going to hold some all the way down to, let's see if he can break this 716. Nice. I think the way that it dropped, I think there's a chance that touched the 716 because it is also the moving average on 5. So I'm going to be a little patient with it, especially that now that I have a really, really good price. Oh, now I can have Megan. Tea, please.
Yeah, that's what I'm playing right now. I'm waiting for this to bounce here back to 730. If we, it should bounce if we get this 920 trade. Here we go. Give this a bit of a bounce here. Looking for some follow through here now.
So Brian is long for a 920 trade. I'm short since the high of the day. Do we still have the YouTube?
Yeah, we
oh,
do.
thanks YouTube guys.
There we go.
Appreciate that. I mean, Carlos, feel free to do this thing on YouTube. Thanks, guys. And Brian, let's get back to chat then. When
Okay.
You're
Yeah, I'm just taking half off here at the 9.
nice. Bye, guys.
See you later. Thanks for joining.